We want to turn now to our top story, the violence in the U.S. Capitol and the conversation this morning about how it was handled. In particular, important questions about why law enforcement reacted so differently yesterday than we saw during the Black Lives Matter protests during the summer. For here with her thoughts, we're joined by editor-in-chief at Max Black Politics, Avis Jones-DeWeaver. She is in Washington. Avis, thank you very much for being here. I think a lot of people have these questions on their minds. So let's go back to this summer and the speed with which police cleared the square during the BLM protests for Trump to come through with a Bible in hand for a photo opportunity. Yesterday, we saw a video on social media last night showing police removing barricades so rioters could move forward, as well as some officers actually taking selfies with them. So what do you think? And what do you think when you looked at the scenes yesterday?
I'm so sorry. My dog just came in here and knocked down my lighting. So that goes with all the tragedy, okay? But let me just say, to me, it is reminiscent of a report that the FBI released in 1990 that suggested that police departments throughout the country had been infiltrated by white supremacists. Clearly, what we saw yesterday was actual examples of collusion between some of those that were supposed to be protecting the U.S. Capitol and those insurrectionists who attacked the U.S. Capitol. So, that to me is a clear example. What we saw yesterday is direct evidence that there was help from the inside, and that's what allowed this coup to happen.
Are you suggesting that what we need is some sort of investigation?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We need investigation. And after investigations, we need charges. We need people to go to jail.
Well, let's talk
from
about
the
those.
White House all the way down.
Let's talk about charges. 57 people reportedly arrested after the riots at the Capitol. But in Los Angeles, more than 500 people were arrested on one day during a protest that came after the killing of George Floyd last year. I guess your answer might be the same here, but why didn't we see more arrests yesterday or on Wednesday? This
is the very definition of white privilege. This is the very definition of institutional racism. I myself have participated in protests in Washington, D.C., peaceful, nonviolent protests. And I have been arrested. And not only have I been arrested, I was arrested with dozens of others, hauled up in paddy wagons and taken away. Where were the paddy wagons?
Yeah.
When I was arrested last, they arrested 600 women who were protesting Justice Kavanaugh. They arrested 50 people yesterday. In those protests around Black Lives Matter, they routinely arrested hundreds of people. In each of those protests, there were only 50 people arrested yesterday. You cannot tell me there was some sort of collusion that was going on inside of those law enforcement agencies to treat these people with kid gloves, which allowed them to ravage the people's house, put people's lives in danger. 4 people actually ended up dead. And you had the insurrectionist in chief still sitting free in the White House. He needs to be gone today.
After the protests were over, U.S. President Donald Trump praised the rioters. But in 2017, he attacked former NFL player Colin Kaepernick for kneeling during the national anthem. What does that tell you about the way Trump views patriotism?
He views patriotism as white nationalism, period.
Yeah.
You're exactly right. That's an excellent contrast. A professional football player who is holding a peaceful protest to shine a light on the value of Black lives in America and how it's been disrespected from the beginning to today, can't even kneel in peace without being called a son of a bee by this person, insurrectionist in chief, who is in that White House right now. Yet he is encouraging his followers to have an actual coup. This is the man who took a pledge upon assuming that office to protect this nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic. He has not only failed at that duty, he himself is an enemy of the state, and he needs to be arrested today.
Avis Jones-DeWeaver, we know you're going to have a very busy day. We appreciate you adding your voice to this conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.